Chapter 1. The Offer. It all began after the grueling Gaokao when my childhood friend Xiao Yi, who dreamed of becoming a doctor, approached me with an unexpected proposition. She suggested that if I gave up my guaranteed admission to the prestigious Qingbei University for my younger adopted brother, Zhong Zhongshuan, she would marry me. The offer felt like a choice between loyalty to my family and my future, and the idea of marrying Xiao Yi, someone I had known since childhood, made it tempting. But I was naive to think it would be as simple as that. Chapter 2. The Betrayal. Despite my initial hesitation, I agreed to her offer. I sacrificed my dream of attending Qingbei, hoping to make everyone happy. But soon after, Xiao Yi abandoned me, dedicating her time to Zhang Xuan, who claimed to be perpetually sick. It wasn't long before I realized that her attention was no longer on me but fully on Zhang Xuan, as my family continued to indulge him. I was left feeling isolated, betrayed by the people I thought would always be there for me. Chapter 3. The Realization. As Zhang Xuan replaced me at Qingbei, I watched helplessly as my parents, who had always been distant, showered him with affection. He had cleverly manipulated his way into their hearts, using his supposed illness as a way to gain sympathy. I could no longer deny the truth. I had been replaced by my adopted brother, and Xiao Yi, the person I once trusted, had chosen him over me. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but it marked the start of my journey to reclaim what was mine. Chapter 4. The Final Trigger. The final blow came when Zhang Xuan, claiming to suffer from fake depression, manipulated my family into believing he was unwell. In an attempt to please him, my childhood friend Xiao Yi told me that they were planning to marry, and my parents fully supported the decision. She tried to convince me that their marriage was only a formality, that it wasn't real, and that I shouldn't take it seriously. But it was clear to me that Zhang Xuan's manipulations had gone too far, and Xiao Yi's loyalty to him had overshadowed any affection she had left for me. The relationship that I had once valued had crumbled, and I knew then that I needed to leave. Chapter 5. The Departure. It was my birthday when I decided to leave. I had always hoped for a special moment, but my family was too busy caring for Zhang Xuan. They were completely absorbed in his needs, and Xiao Yu was by his side, offering her attention to him while I was ignored. It was clear to me that I no longer had a place there. So, without a word, I packed my bags and left, leaving everything behind. I didn't inform anyone. I just walked away, silently closing the door on the family that had forgotten about me. Chapter 6. A New Beginning. At my new university, far removed from the toxic environment I had left behind, I began to heal. The people I met there treated me with respect and kindness, valuing me for who I was rather than who they expected me to be. Among them, I found someone who truly saw me, a girl who cared about me without any ulterior motives. For the first time in a long time, I felt appreciated and loved. Chapter 7. The Same Truth. Back home, Zhang Xuan's true nature began to unravel. His manipulations were becoming too obvious for even my parents to ignore. They started to realize that he had been deceiving them, just as I had been deceived. Xiao Yi too began to see the truth, and she started distancing herself from him. It was clear that I had made the right decision by leaving. My new life was becoming everything I had hoped for, while the family I had left behind was slowly seeing the consequences of their choices. Chapter 8. The Visit. Years later, Xiao Yi visited me. She looked remorseful, seeking forgiveness for her past actions. She told me that she had been blinded by Zhang Xuan's manipulations and that she regretted everything. She wanted to rekindle our relationship, to fix what had been broken. But I had moved on. The person I had been in the past was no longer me. I had found peace, and I had found someone who loved me for who I was. I refused her request to turn back time. It was too late. Chapter 9. The Final Goodbye. Xiao Yi's apology was heartfelt, but it was also too little, too late. She told me she had always cared for me, but the weight of Zhang Xuan's lies had made her blind to my feelings. I could see the pain in her eyes, but I also knew that I couldn't let her back into my life. I had moved on. I had found love, trust, and peace in a place far from my past. The girl who loved me for who I truly was here now, and that was all that mattered. The door to my past was closed, and I was ready to embrace the future, one filled with real love and true happiness.